Hey team, in this video we're just going to go over some settings as they relate to combat. The first video went over settings about the UI and maximizing your viewing space and minimizing the visual clutter. This time we're just going to try to maximize your combat settings. So I'm going to start down here. Enable camera shake and camera teleportation. You want to turn on the camera teleportation, especially if you use portaling skills, blinks. It makes the camera move more smoothly with the blink as opposed to kind of staggered behind it, if that makes sense. It will make sense to you if you do blink. You should be able to see the difference. It's like instant if you have it enabled. It's not as instant if it's not enabled. So enable camera teleportation, you turn that on. Camera shake just causes visual disturbances. I guess it makes the camera shake. Here. Turn it on, drop meteors. You get these little bumps. Turn that off. You don't get those bumps, and it just casts smoothly, and it doesn't mess around with your graphics. Next one is free camera. Free camera is pretty cool. If you don't have free camera on and you're walking forward, when you turn your camera, it automatically recenters it. So I guess that might be good in some situations, but when you're in combat or trying to watch combat around you, turn free camera on, and then you can turn your camera. You can look all around you. This goes back to the first video when I said that you would appreciate being able to adjust your rotation speed and look all around you very quickly. Just like that. You can also use this to look behind and cast spells behind you. However, there's another setting for this called the Look Behind button, which you can also use to look behind and cast spells behind you. And that is under your control options. Camera settings, I think, but we'll double check that later. Next, we have combat movement and the ground targeting. The old normal for this used to be you selected the skill, you could release the button, and it would just be out there, and you can move around. You can right-click to cancel it, or you can left-click to cast. Instant just instantly casts where your mouse cursor is. Nice if you don't think you're ever going to put a skill down in a wrong spot, but you have no option to cancel it once you've pressed it. Fast with range indicator is like a hybrid of the two. You can left click to cancel still, and right click to cast. The difference is you press the button, you hold the skill. It doesn't cast until you release. Unlike normal, where you can release and have all your fingers free, this does require you to hold the button down. That's about the only difference. And that's all preference. I wouldn't recommend normal because it is the slowest of the three. I would definitely go with fast with range indicator or instant cast. One of those two. On to the biggest settings mistake that most people make. Well, most people who have never modified their settings. Double tap to evade. This is a horrible, horrible skill for combat. If you are using this, you need to disable it and start using your dodge key immediately. Double tap to evade takes 2 key presses to dodge, so it takes twice as long to process. And there's that little stutter, right? Because it's processing your double tap. Whereas if you do not double tap to evade and you just press dodge, 1 key tap half the time. If you are using double tap to evade, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot every time you dodge. Stop auto attacking and target change. Personal preference. I like to be able to deselect things and have it stop attacking the target. It's nice in like friendly skirmishes and stuff, so you're not willy-nilly attacking the enemy. It's kind of rude. Auto targeting and melee attack assist. These two kind of go hand in hand in regards to movement skills, especially if you play melee. Say you want to greatsword rush away from the enemy. If you have melee attack assist turned on, it will always keep you within melee range of the enemy, even if you have no one targeted and are trying to run away. Again, auto targeting. If you have no one targeted and you use your greatsword rush to try and get away, it's going to auto target you to the nearest enemy, and you will run into them. So if you turn off auto targeting and melee attack assist, you have more control over your movement skills. Lock ground target at maximum range. You'll notice when we were playing with the ground targeting, this is locked at maximum range. The difference would be turn it off and you can just throw it out here and it does nothing, because you can't cast it out there. I just use that because it makes my life easier. Minimizes margin of error. I'm not going to miss spells because they're not in range. Snap ground target to current target. This is not good. Turn this on. This is my target. Even if my mouse is over here, it's targeting my AoE over there. That's not good, because I might be targeting that guy, but say I want to cast a AoE over there. Alright, over here, allow skill retargeting fireflies and spiders. We're going to start attacking this spider back here, and we're going to finish attacking this firefly up here. Alright. That's basically what skill retargeting allows you to do. It's pretty handy. I do recommend having that one turned on. And down here, standard enemy models, personal preference. I don't find that it's as useful in big scale fights. What this does is it standardizes the models, so all people, doesn't matter what race they're playing, they all look the same race. I think the standard enemy model is human. And that's just to standardize animations, because in PvP, different races have different animations for different skills, so some of them are harder to see than others. And you can't dodge or counterplay if you can't necessarily see what's going on. So if you standardize the models, it makes them all look the same and they all have the same animations. It works really well if you have lower graphics settings, because then the game doesn't have to render as many different things. So if you do not have a great graphics card, then these might be useful for you to turn on. But as I said, in bigger world versus world fights, you're not going to see that as much anyway. It might not make a difference. If you run small scale stuff in Havoc and Roaming, certainly turn those on. It'll make your life a lot easier and standardizes everything. Down here, the show all commander tags. Something that happens to people a lot in big fights is you lose your commander, especially when two tags collide. People end up on the wrong tags. If you turn this off, you won't see anybody else's tag except the squad that you're in. So that's pretty handy if that's a problem for you. If it's not a problem for you, then turn it on. Another useful button here under movement is about face. This just automatically turns you around. Skills. This is a big one. Skills. Now that you've rebound your strafe left and right from Q and E down to A and D or such, you now have Q and E are free for other skills. I would recommend maybe utility skills. I have Q, E, and R in my utility skills. Heals, ultimate skills, elites, whatever you want to call them, skills that you want to have at easy reach. Keybinds are incredibly important. Now, I have small hands and I have a fancy mouse, so I rebound my F skills. I rebound to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My profession skills. And that just makes it easier for me to reach than the F keys. Something to consider in regards to keybinds is you should never have to stop moving to press any of your buttons. You should be able to do them all and constantly move. Always be moving and never stop. You go through your keybinds and at any point in time you have to stop moving to press any of your buttons, then you need to reevaluate the position of that button and relocate it somewhere where you can press it and continuously move. All right, one last thing to go over here is keyboard turning. I've bound turn left and turn right to the standard keys, which are A and D. Turn left, turn right. See, this is not very quick. Ideally, what you want to do is rebind strafe left and strafe right. Now you're going to strafe left and strafe right, and you're going to turn with the mouse. You're going to hold down your left mouse button and turn. See how quickly you turn. So much faster than keyboard turning. Highly recommend that you do this. It will also free up those QE skills that were previously your strafe keys, and you can put other things in there, your utilities. Earlier when I was doing movement and stuff, my utilities are QER. All right, team, I think that covers everything, at least everything that I had on my little mini list. So thanks for watching, and I hope that it was useful.